There's a button attached to the tag of my shirt. What the frick? Hey bays! So, I am in Orlando currently. As most of you know, my mom is in a pageant. She won a pageant in California and now she's at the internationals. And it's just me and her for the first 2 days, and then my dad and my brother are joining us on Tuesday night. Anyway, that explains why I'm in a hotel. Universal Studios is over there. So, so I made a TikTok like last week about meeting Gaten Matarazzo and getting to sing with him, and apparently a lot of people did not know that that happened, and so a ton of people were asking for a story time. So here you go. I just thought, I'm alone in the hotel room, let's do a story time. So basically, I've been a huge fan of Stranger Things since late 2017. I just became overly obsessed with it. It was like me with One Direction. Like, it was bad. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's bad to hyperfixate, because hello, I literally One Direction. But I was very obsessed. So basically, I had known that he was gonna be in Into the Woods, but I thought it was like a remastering of the movie. Like, I thought they were refilming the movie. I didn't realize it was a stage production. And then I found out that it was, but I still had absolutely no idea where it was. I was just like, oh, Gaten, he's in a production of Into the Woods. Like, that's so cool, go him. And that's about where it stopped. And then I saw that Sutton Foster was in the same production, and I was like, that is so freaking cool that those two are in the same thing, because I love Sutton Foster. She's a tall theater girl, and like, I'm tall, so like, I kind of like look up to her in the sense of like, tall. So anyway, I found all that out, and I just thought that they were in a production together. I didn't know where, I didn't know if you could get tickets. I thought it might just be live streamed. I didn't know. So then my mom was talking to her friend on Facebook, and they had been friends from high school, and he basically had talked about how he was doing the wigs for the production of Into the Woods. And my mom was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Katie's been talking about how she wants to go see him, but like, obviously we can't. And we found out that it was at the Hollywood Bowl in LA, so that's about a 6-hour drive from us. But I was like, I highly doubt that's gonna happen, because at the point that we were figuring out where it was and when it was like 3 days before the show started. So we basically were under the impression that nope, we're not gonna get to see him, we're gonna miss him, it's okay though. So then on, I think it was a Friday, I don't know, I think it was a Friday. On the 25th of July, my parents come into my room at like 7 a.m. and they wake me up and they're like, Katie, pack your bag, we're going to LA. And I was like, what? And they were like, we're going to LA, we're gonna go see Gaten. And then I was like, we're okay. And they expected my reaction to be way bigger. I'm not sure if we still have the video of it. I don't think we do, because it was on my dad's Android. But they expected my reaction to be way bigger, and I was just like, okay. Because I think that I thought I was dreaming, or I just was completely unconscious. I have no idea. And then I woke up and I was kind of like, Gaten. So I quickly like packed my bag and everything, and we got going. And apparently my mom had talked to Jeff, her friend, and he basically said that he was able to get us free admission into their Friday morning dress rehearsal. Oh no, so this all was happening on a Thursday. So Thursday the 24th of July. And we were gonna be able to get free tickets to watch the Friday morning dress rehearsal. So basically, we got everything ready, we got in the car, and we just went on. Like, completely impromptu trip to LA, we had no plan, except to go see Gaten. On the way there, like, I kind of was like, just chill, and then in like random spurts, I would realize that I was seeing Gaten Matarazzo, and I would like have panic attacks, like 2-minute panic attacks, being like, and I was like freaking out, because I was like, if we meet him, what am I gonna say? How am I gonna react? Like, what's gonna go on? Blah, blah, blah. And so I was like freaking out, because I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I was freaking out because it was so sudden. It wasn't like a deciding like, oh, we're gonna go see him in 2 months. It was like tomorrow. So then we were kind of just joking around in the car, and I was like, imagine if like we're able to meet him and I asked him to sing Never Ending Story. And my dad was like, do it. And I was like, no? And he was like, okay, I will. And I was like, no, you won't. And he was like, okay. And so I was completely under the impression that he wasn't going to, because I was like, that's annoying. So then once we got to LA, it was probably like 6 p.m. Wait, I don't know, something like that. Just calculating like stops and blah, blah, blah. So it was probably like 6. We were super close to the Universal Hollywood City Walk thing. And so we decided to go there and walk around and go to dinner there and stuff like that. Every time that I'm in LA, we go there. So we were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go to the City Walk, we're gonna have dinner, it's gonna be great. So we went to dinner at Bubba Gump's, and it was really good, it was really fun and everything like that. There was a chance that we were gonna get to like meet Gaten that night, but we were like, no, probably not, because they were having like tech week and stuff. So we were at dinner, and My mom did take a video. I'm not sure if I still have it. If I do, I'll put it in here. But anyway, I was really excited. And I just had moments of realization over and over that like, I'm seeing Gaten Matarazzo in person and we could be really close to him. I had no idea how close I was actually gonna be in the sense of like to the stage and what the stage looked like because I'd never seen the Hollywood Bowl. So once we got back to our hotel, it was like maybe like 9 or something like that. And I was like, I don't know, I think I was just like getting ready for bed or whatever. And then I started just pacing back and forth, like freaking out, like what am I gonna do? Like I'm gonna meet this kid. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do or whatever. I was freaking out, having another like panic attack over this whole situation. I just did not know what to do. I was like freaking out. And I ended up finally getting to go to sleep. Like I tried for like a few hours to go to sleep and then I finally was able to. So then the next morning we woke up, I think it was about at like, I want to say 8, we woke up, we got ready, they had breakfast down in the lobby of the hotel, and then we walked to the Hollywood Bowl because we were less than a mile away, so we just walked there. So on our way there, I was like jumping up and down, freaking out. He was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna see Gaten, like I can't do this. We get there and we're kind of like walking around, we're not really sure where to go in, and then my mom's friend Jeff, who was able to get us the tickets, he comes up to us and he was like, hey guys, how are you? And everything like that. So he gives us these wristbands, and we weren't the only ones who were there to see it. There were like families. I don't really know how they got in because most of the people who were in the production were like Broadway people, and I'm pretty sure they weren't the families of the Broadway people, but maybe they were. I don't know. So the way the Hollywood Bowl is laid out, if there's a picture, I'll put it right here. So basically, it's like the stage, and then there's like a pit, and it has like tables and chairs in it. And then there's like a little like thing that comes out this way. It's like a little platform stage thing. And we sat right behind this platform thing. So it was like the platform and then seats right there. So we sat right there in this little like box. So we were kind of sitting there probably for like maybe an hour before the show actually started. Valerie texted me and interrupted the story. I don't even remember where I was. I think I do. Once we had like decided on that spot, we just like sat there. And mind you, it was in like direct sunlight. So my right arm was bright red by the end of this. It was horrible because then I literally left for Hawaii the next day. So I was burnt to a crisp. So basically we just kind of sat there. I filmed like Snapchats being like, oh my gosh, look where we are. And then the show started. And I completely did not recognize Gaten when he came out because I was not expecting him to be wearing a bright red fluffy wig. This is the wig he was wearing. It's not a great picture, but it's a picture. And so I was totally not expecting that to be what he was wearing. And so I was a little caught off guard. And I didn't realize it was him at first. And then my parents had to point him out to me and they were like, he's over there. I started crying. Like tears started coming down my face. And I think that he saw because he kept staring at me after that moment. Like we made eye contact multiple times throughout the show because I started crying when he was on stage. And he wasn't doing anything. He was milking a cow. So it wasn't like he was doing anything worth crying over. I just saw him and was like, so the show proceeds. It was really good. It was burning hot outside. We were sweating. So then this is where the shape of the stage comes into play. So we were sitting right here and here's the little part where it comes out like a little platform thing. So when they're doing the like Into the Woods to Grandmother's House, the whole like Into the Woods song, they walk on this platform. So Gaten was like maybe 4 feet away from me up on this platform. So I'm here and he's here. Like he's really close. So I was like freaking out. Picture, here you go. I was like having a moment. Like I was like, Gaten Matarazzo is waiting for me. Hey, bestie. And he was like frozen right there. And Sutton Foster was like over there. So that's basically the entirety of like what went on during the show. We made eye contact a bunch of times. I cried multiple times. He was really close to me multiple times. That's pretty much what went on during the show. So then at the end of the show, we were like, yay, look at you go. And then we were like, okay. Now obviously I still wanted to meet him, but I was like, if we can't meet him, it's not the end of the world. Like I'm not gonna freak out if I can't meet him because he was right there and he saw me. So after this, we had walked outside of the gates to like the show because the Hollywood Bowl is an outdoor stadium. What is it, a stadium? Proscenium? So anyway, we had walked outside of the gates of where the stage was and we were kind of just standing there for maybe 30 minutes. We were like, is he gonna come out over here? Yada yada. We were told that they had to go to the back for notes and notes can take a while. Like as a theater kid, I know notes can take a while. So I was like, okay. So we were standing outside of the direct gates for like 30 minutes maybe and we were like, And then we were told that there was a chance that he might come out the back because there was gates by the orchestra room where they were getting their notes. So we were like, oh, okay. So we walked around to the back. We stood in the back for maybe an hour. Like, it was a long time. And my phone was like on the verge of death, I think. But there was a really nice security guard there. Like, he was chill. And we talked to him for a while, and he thought the whole situation was super cool, what they had done, how they made like an impromptu trip to LA so I could go see Gaten Matarazzo, yada yada. He thought it was super cool. He was a really cool dude. So after like an hour, we basically decided like, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna go home. It's okay. My parents made sure I was okay with it, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. We saw him. It was cool. So I was basically set on the fact that we weren't meeting, and I was like, oh, it's okay, whatever. So then my mom's friend, Jeff, comes out the back, and he goes, you guys are still here? And we were like, yeah, but we're about to head out. And then we see this little yellow thing, and the gate has like covering on it, so you can't really see, but you can see like shadows. And we saw a little yellow shadow, and I was like, because he has a certain like shape because he doesn't have collarbones, so you can kind of see his shoulders kind of go down a little more. And so I like noticed, and I was like, so then Jeff goes, one sec, and he runs back, and we heard him. He's kind of like, hey Gaten, there's this girl out there, she's a really big fan, she loves you on Stranger Things, could you like take like 2 seconds out of your day to like go meet her? Gaten was like, yeah, that's totally cool. So he came out. First of all, he's exhausted because he just performed in the sun for 2 hours. Like, we were sitting in the sun, and I'm exhausted by this point. Before he comes out, I'm like realizing that I see him walking towards us, and so I'm aggressively hitting my mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then the second that he walks through the gate to the point where he would be able to see me, I go, hi. And I totally chilled out. So like that reassures me for when I meet any celebrities. I'm like, oh, I can be chill, because I cried when he came out on stage, but when I went to actually go meet him, I was chill. So I was like, hi, and I went over to go hug him, and I was like, hi, I'm Katie, and he was like, I'm Gaten. And we talked for a little bit. I genuinely have I do not remember what we talked about. We talked for a little bit, and he met the rest of my family, and then my dad goes, so Gaten, and I went, no. And then I was like, don't do it. And Gaten was like, you're scaring me. And I was like, yeah, you should be. And so my dad continues to be like, so Katie watched the entire season 3 the second it came out at midnight, all in one sitting. And Gaten was like, wow, that's commitment. And I was like, yeah. And my dad proceeds to go, she just loves the song Never Ending Story, and we were just wondering if you could possibly sing it with her. And I was like, and Gaten was like, oh, I can't. And he was like, I've sang this a bajillion times. We all just kind of laughed, and I was like, that's totally cool. And my dad was like, please, this would be a really big opportunity for her, like, whatever. And Gaten was like, well, if I say no, I'm gonna sound like I don't swear on here, so we'll say donkey. He was like, if I say no, I'm gonna sound like a donkey. And we were like, I was like, no, it's totally fine. If you don't have time, like, it's okay, I don't mind. And he was like, no, it's fine, like, let's do it. So my mom, like, he apparently didn't know we were recording it. And I was like, of course we're gonna record it. So we went and we started singing it and everything like that. I think he was scared because he didn't know if I could sing or not, because he started out really quiet. But I think once he realized that I actually could sing, he got a little bit more confident, because then when we like kept going, he was like, this is fun, you want to keep going?
It's fun, actually. Keep going, breathe.
Go, keep going for songs. And so we continued singing. So we finished the song, and he kept forgetting the words, which I thought was hilarious. So then we finished the song, and he was like, okay, I gotta get back to rehearsal, because they were doing, like, rehearsing a few numbers. So then we started walking back to the car, and I was just like, I just sang with Gaten Matarazzo. And my parents were like, yeah? And I said that probably 5 times in the car ride home, and then Ethan started crying because he didn't get a chance to like actually talk to him or get a picture with him or anything, and we all felt so bad. And like for Stranger Things Day in 2018, he recorded a video and he was like, turn around, no, never again. And every time that he does that kind of thing, I always feel bad, because I was like, it's my fault. And so now every time that he says like, nope, never again doing that, I always feel like I'm like, oh, but I made him sing it with me, and I feel bad. So yeah, that's basically the entirety of the story. He's never like interacted with me besides that time or whatever. I didn't expect him to or anything like that. I didn't expect to be able to see him. I didn't expect to be able to sing with him. So yeah, that's the story of when I met and sang with Gaten Matarazzo. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you appreciate the story time. And yeah, bye!